let's flip a coin. Head Carolina, tails California.
Okay, this is the Ask Andy show. I've been to I traveled nonstop for 16 plus years and gone to 90 countries. And still traveling, still going. I'm in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, and I answer questions about the global planet we live on. Joshua W. asked, of all the places you have traveled, generally which place has the happiest people? I've answered this a couple different times, but I think the generally happiest place I ever go to is probably in West Africa. But you know, there's some places where I always think of happy people, like Lake Atalan, Guatemala. I'm not talking about the gringos that live there. I'm talking about the locals. But most locals in most places, even in Orland, Indiana, where I grow, there's a lot of happy people. And you can always tell the happy people because they have smiles on their faces. But if you go to the interior part of Britain, a lot of people are smiling, right? Sometimes we can't even see the smiles that are surrounding us because we got our mind closed, like everything's wrong about our own country and the grass is greener over there. You probably, if you walk into work and see who's smiling, you could probably count off 10 of them and just see which ones are quick to smile and which ones are frowning. But it might be a bad company too, right? So the boss sort of sets the tune. Okay, but Africa's a lot happier. What do you think the main causes of their happiness? Okay. I think the biggest problem on happiness is envy and jealousy. And even though Africans are very envious and very jealous, they don't have an insurmountable amount of jealousy. I mean, they're not seeing a Hummer drive by them and knowing they'll never be able to buy that. Everybody they see is just marginally, very small difference, more successful than they are. And so they're not sitting around being their brother's keeper. They're not really just envious of everybody, and everybody's just content. Too much shopping, too many malls, too much commercials on TV, all these things make people dream, and then their mind has cognitive dissonance. They're not happy until they have that thing. And in Africa, there's not that many TVs, and there's not that many stuff. It's not that there isn't. It's just that it's more of an outdoor type of living. And it's not that they're cleaner, and it's not that they're more closer to nature, and they're not holy or anything like that. They just don't have all these temptations to buy. If you want to get a miserable person, you know, you got to get somebody that's trying to buy things every day of the week. That's the misery. The person that's basically just, if you see 5 or 6 people that are always, like in Africa, you're always seeing groups of people standing around talking. Well, in America, you won't see that because they don't have time, because they're too busy working to pay off the things they bought. And that you know, they're doing something they really don't want to do to have something they want. And you don't have that trade-off in a lot of the places where I go in West Africa. They're really, you know, they're living day to day, but they're basically all they got to do is earn, you know, $3 or $4, $10 just to have enough money for food, and usually living on a piece of ground that's paid for, so they have equity. They don't have a mortgage, and you never see anybody committing suicide there because they don't have any debt. Debt is a really horrible thing, guys. But so what I would say, Togo's very happy, Cote d'Ivoire's very happy, Benin's incredibly happy. Uganda's happy. Kenya's not so happy. They're too busy thinking about wanting to be British or something. But you got all these countries. You got 52 countries in Africa, so I haven't been to all of them. But you know, any more, if there's a local language, here's a sign of it. If they have to, like, you have people here in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, that speak Quechua, and you have people that speak only Spanish. Normally, when they're speaking 2 languages, because they have a local tribal language, and they speak lingua franca, I guess they call it lingua franca, the business language like Spanish, they're happier than the ones that actually are only speaking Spanish and part of the consumer. They're basically just brainwashed by the corporations to buy all the time, and then they're always wanting to be something more, right? Dreaming all the time about what you could be or what you could do is not living one day at a time, and it's not contentment. I really, the greatest thing that ever happened to me is I started traveling and I could only put things inside my backpack, and that has greatly increased my happiness because I don't have to think about buying things. I don't have to care about buying things, and I know I'm going to leave these people, so really it's also, I'm not jealous of them because I know I'm going to be moving on, and I'm going to be building a memory while they're just sitting here buying a car. Andy Graham, thanks.
We can